What if the promise of Australia's high-speed rail isn't about better transportation at all? What if behind the sleek designs and billion-dollar budgets lies a hidden agenda? One that could change the country's landscape, economy, and even its future? The truth may shock you. Australia's high-speed rail, HSR project, has long been portrayed as a transformative solution to connect major cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Proponents paint a rosy picture: faster travel, reduced carbon emissions, and economic growth. But scratch beneath the surface and the cracks begin to show. Could this grand vision be masking ulterior motives driven by corporate greed, political agendas, and a questionable redistribution of wealth? In this deep dive, we'll unravel the real story behind the high-speed rail project and uncover who truly stands to benefit. Section 1. The surface-level promise. At first glance, the high-speed rail seems like a no-brainer. Imagine traveling from Sydney to Melbourne in under 3 hours, bypassing airport delays and traffic congestion. With the added benefit of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by transitioning from air to rail travel, the idea is sold as both futuristic and eco-friendly. But these promises conveniently ignore the glaring challenges. The astronomical costs of building the rail infrastructure, estimated to be upwards of $200 billion. The disruption to rural communities whose land lies in the path of the proposed routes. Questions about whether Australia's population density can support such a massive investment. Why, then, are certain entities so determined to push the project forward? Section 2. The real beneficiaries. High-speed rail isn't just about connecting cities, it's about unlocking land value. The proposed routes will pass through regional areas, turning underdeveloped land into prime real estate. Developers, corporations, and political insiders are eyeing massive profits from land acquisitions, rezoning, and property development along these corridors. Consider this. Speculative land purchases have already begun near proposed rail routes, with some investors doubling down on areas they believe will skyrocket in value. Lobbyists with ties to construction and real estate industries are pushing for the rail's approval, not for public benefit, but for private gain. While the public is sold the dream of faster travel, the real winners are those pulling the strings behind closed doors. Section 3. The political chessboard. Australia's high-speed rail isn't just a transportation project, it's a political tool. Over the years, different governments have championed the idea, promising jobs, growth, and innovation. But look closer, and you'll find a pattern of delays, reevaluations, and inflated costs. Section 4. Environmental concerns versus reality. Another pillar of the high-speed rail agenda is its supposed environmental benefits. While it's true that trains produce fewer emissions than planes or cars, the environmental impact of constructing the rail itself is rarely discussed. Consider these facts. Building the infrastructure will require significant land clearing, affecting ecosystems and wildlife. The production of steel and concrete for the tracks and stations will generate massive carbon emissions, offsetting the supposed environmental gains for years, if not decades. Many regions along the proposed route lack the renewable energy infrastructure needed to power a truly green rail system, meaning the trains may still rely on fossil fuels. Despite these issues, the eco-friendly narrative is being heavily promoted. Could it be a convenient smokescreen for deeper agendas? Section 5. The cost to taxpayers. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of the high-speed rail is its funding. While private companies will reap the rewards, it's the Australian taxpayer who will foot the bill. Here's how. Governments will likely borrow heavily to finance the project, increasing national debt. Maintenance and operational costs will require ongoing subsidies, draining public resources for decades. Tickets may be priced out of reach for average Australians, making the system accessible primarily to the wealthy, while the general population pays for it. In essence, the public pays for the infrastructure, while corporations profit from it. A textbook case of privatizing gains and socializing losses. Section 6. Alternatives that are overlooked. If the goal is truly to improve transportation and reduce emissions, why aren't other solutions being prioritized? For instance, upgrading existing rail lines could significantly improve speeds and connectivity at a fraction of the cost. Expanding regional airports and integrating them with efficient public transport systems could achieve similar results. Investing in renewable energy projects and electrifying existing transport networks would yield immediate environmental benefits. The focus on high-speed rail, despite its challenges, suggests there's more at play than just improving mobility. Perth offers affordable transportation options, making it a great choice for students compared to Sydney. The Transperth system provides discounted fares through the Smart Rider card and a free transit zone (FTZ) in the city center. Cycling and walking are also cost-effective, thanks to bike-friendly paths and pedestrian-friendly neighborhoods. Rideshare services like Uber and scooter rentals like Lime are cheaper than taxis, and long-distance travel via Transwa buses and trains is budget-friendly with student discounts. Australia's high-speed rail has long been presented as a groundbreaking solution to connect cities, reduce travel times, and boost the economy, but many question if it's more hype than substance. While proponents highlight its potential to revolutionize transportation and reduce carbon emissions, critics argue it's an expensive, politically driven dream with little progress made over decades. The lack of clear funding, logistical hurdles, and competing infrastructure priorities make it unclear whether high-speed rail is a genuine plan for the future or just a tool to win public favor without delivering real results. Conclusion: the hidden agenda. Unveiled Australia's high-speed rail project, while cloaked in promises of progress and sustainability, raises serious questions about who it truly serves. Beneath the grand vision lies a complex web of corporate interests, political maneuvering, and environmental trade-offs. As citizens, it's our responsibility to scrutinize such projects, asking tough questions and demanding transparency. Who profits from this initiative? What are the long-term consequences for taxpayers, communities, and the environment? The high-speed rail may be a step toward the future, but whose future is it really building? Until these questions are answered, the project risks becoming yet another case of ambition overshadowed by hidden agendas. If you're concerned about the implications of Australia's high-speed rail project, speak up. Write to your representatives, demand open debates, and hold decision-makers accountable. The future of our nation's transportation, and much more, depends on it.